Hello everyone, this is Rishi again. Welcome back. So now the third video is about creating HelloWorld class and accessing with the help of Spring. So now delete this app.java which is created by Maven. Here I am going to create a class called HelloWorld. So right click, package, go to class and name is Hello World. Click on finish. You may or may not have a constructor. I will have it so that I will get to know whenever this class is getting instantiated. So after this class instantiation, I will just have a sys out here, which will say hello world constructor. I have one more property in this particular class, which is message. So let's add that. So string private string message, and have a getters and setters for that. That actually completes the class creation. Now, how do I manage, or how do I create, or how do I instantiate this particular class with the help of Spring? For that, I need spring.xml under src folder. So you can do this. You can actually right click, go to other, create a file or XML, and say XML file. Click on this. You can name that file anything. I'm just naming it as spring.xml and click on finish. This is a raw XML. We need some namespaces which Spring can understand. For grabbing the namespaces, you have to go back to spring.io, and from any of the examples, just grab the namespaces and the file will be ready for you. Now I'm here in Spring documentation. I clicked on core, so same documentation which I was showing you, and just for the examples I'm just grabbing an example beans XML. So in beans tag you will see the namespaces, and I'm grabbing those namespaces for me, and just grab that and put it in your XML. All the Spring beans are actually inside beans tag. Now starting tag I will just add anything tag, and that actually creates a complete Spring Bean structure for me. Now inside that I have to instantiate bean hello world. So I do that with the help of bean tag. So add this bean. In that bean you have attribute name. I'll name it as hello, and class, and you have to give fully classified complete class name. So com.rishi.spring hello world. Once I add that, I can pass the value of the property that is called as property injection. So I'm going to add this message property. I do that with the help of a property injector, and you'll see a property. Property is all the properties in this particular class. I can inject that regardless whether it's private or not. Spring doesn't care. And then I can actually put the value of that particular property. Here I'm going to add namaste. You can close that property here itself, and this is a complete bean created with Spring. So now it's Spring responsibility to instantiate this class, assign that instantiation as a name of hello, and provide the property message a value as namaste. So how does Spring do that, and how to access this particular file? For the accessing, I'm creating one more file, which is a tester one. So test Spring, and I'll have main method in that. Click on finish, and in main method I have to access this spring.xml. Spring.xml is accessed with the help of context. So Spring context will provide you access to all the beans inside spring.xml. There are different types of Spring context, and this basic one is application context. Although I'll be using configurable XML context. So let me add that. Configurable application context equals to new configurable application context. Here I'm actually, oops, I'm sorry. Configurable application context, and I'm assigning to class path XML application context as it should actually grab the file inside a class path. And here I am passing an array of strings. You can also directly pass the spring.xml, but to have a scope that I can add multiple XML files in the same class path, I will grab a different array of different array of strings, and assign the value of that array near this. And here you pass the value spring.xml. So you are telling Spring to grab the values from this particular file. If you have multiple XMLs, then you can actually add comma separated values because this is an array. So you are safe in that. So now this context will actually help you to grab the values from spring.xml Spring Bean. So you do that with the help of, now let's go ahead and get an instance of hello world. Hello world. Hello world. Instead of new, I will ask context dot get bean. Here you have two choices, either you can pass the name of the bean or class of the bean or both. So name of the bean is hello. Context.getBean provides an object. So you have to cast that particular object into hello world. There is an alternative to that. So either you can cast it with the help of this, or a context.getBean also have a parameter where you can pass which class we are referring to. So hello world.class. If I do that, then this is also one of the safer way to grab the object of hello. But if this class doesn't match, then you will get class cast exception. Now hello world.getMessage should provide me the message which I'm getting from Spring Beans XML. So in getMessage method, I will add a sysout just for the sake of our convenience. That message is, and then add the value message. And if I run this particular thing, okay, one more thing, and the last thing in this discussion is context is basically container which we started, so we have to close it again. So context.close is really important. So close that context and you're done. So what basically we had is we actually instantiated this hello world class with the help of Spring Beans, and then you are getting a message out of it which you passed in XML. Let's see whether Spring prints that message, and then we are closing the context. We got some exception. Let's see that. You can see that this particular exception is because I'm not actually providing a proper name here. So this is very, very important to have a complete and proper name of the class. So I fixed it now. I just added that G here. I will save that and rerun this particular class. Which will provide a message is Namaste in our class. Please try this example. This example is also included in your class code folder. You can grab it, download it, and run for your own Eclipse. Okay.